We out, Jess.
We out.
We out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Keith here, Jesse on the camera, and today on the bench we have our TRX4 Bronco Gas Monkey Garage kind of mega truck. We have the jconcepts Tributes and the Ranger tires on it. Just loving this little beast. Such a fun little truck. And about a year ago, I had ordered a GRC interior kit from Amazon, I believe it was. It was like 75 bucks. And we're finally getting around to installing that. So let's bust that out, check that out. We'll yard the body off of this and show you guys how that all goes in. But let's talk about that first, because we're going to make a couple quick changes before we install that. Okay guys, so we got a really nice molded, I might as well open the box, see what's going on here. It is from GRC, and part number is G161RW. They make it in a beige and a red. Now you may wonder why the red and the beige, Like in the 79 Bronco, the interior usually matched the body color. With the black truck, you'd have a black interior with wood accent. With the green truck, you'd have green, yada, yada, yada. Usually with the tan or the light color trucks, you get the tan interior, the red one, so on, so on. But you guys have obviously rebuilt them and had to use different interiors and different, along the way. But we had two options. We didn't like red, we didn't like tan. Tan showed up, it looked pretty ugly. So we're gonna change the color of this over to a desert sand or a light sand from Tamiya 46. It's a little bit darker, and then we'll put some flat clear on it to give it a little bit of depth. I might put a little bit of detail into it, we'll see. We might just keep this one clean. And then we're going to do the carpet and the dash pad in NATO brown. I'm going to do a couple test hits and make sure I'm happy with this color. I know I've used it before, and the cap does no justice for the actual final color. The cap looks like a weird browny purple kind of color. It looks really off, but I know the finished color is a little bit more, it's more of a reddish brown, but we'll get into that and check that out in a few minutes. But anyhow, with the interior package, you get this really nice dash. I've got it taped off because we're gonna go spray that right away. You get both front seats, the seat backs with headrests, center console with a little center console flip up door. Goes in there, little cup holders. We can paint and detail that all up in the 1970s era to match. You even get a little mount to put in a computer fan to sit right above your stock ESC to help pull the heat away, which is pretty cool. And then it literally has the full floor pans. There is a mount right here for your power distribution block from Traxxas. So you actually unbolt your chassis, bolt it into here, plug your wires back in through the top and stuff. They've really gone like all out on designing this interior kit. Now let's just hope it fits. That can be all said. It could be just a pile of garbage. We'll figure that out just in a few minutes. But with the amount of detail they got in here, I'm hoping it does. Like even the shifter, the column shifter has park, reverse, neutral drive, 2, 1 or whatever on it. You can hook up a servo to the steering wheel to make the steering column turn. There's a piece right here for that without doing any extra modifications, just pop it in. So yeah, it's gonna look awesome. Glove box door, the glove box opens, headrests because they go up and down on the seat. And then this piece goes right in the middle. Once you put your battery in, this guy actually just drops in and slides back and covers your entire battery. Everything, your console sits on top of here. It is such a cool little piece. Problem is I haven't seen one installed, so I'm kind of doubting it's going to fit that well, but let's get at it and figure it out. Worst case scenario is obviously we can make it fit, but yeah. So first step is we're going to go wash all these parts down. I don't know what's on them from whoever handled or painted it last, or what's on my hands right now. So we're going to go get everything washed up, give it a quick scrub, wash it down. This guy was already washed, that's why I'm picking him up by the outside edges and such. And we'll go get that done. We're gonna go respray all these pieces, and then we'll kind of show you step by step. There it is. We'll show you how to build step by step by the instructions. They're a little weird. You only get the one sheet, and it's a lot of pieces, so there's a lot of steps happening in each piece. There's gluing and screwing and clipping and tucking and pulling parts off and all that stuff. So we'll help you get through that. Should we get all the parts out? We'll help you get through that, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay guys, we got the parts and pieces back out of the paint booth. We hit that with NATO TS62 as we just discussed. It's actually the next day I went and restocked some paints. And we also used TS46 Light Sand. Those are both Tamiya paints, both fantastic products. The only products we use for paint around here most of the time. So anyhow, those are looking really good. And they kind of gave us like a King Ranch vibe we're going with. Ford does the King Ranch edition, yada, yada, yada. So we fired up the Mighty Cricket and we cut out some of these little squiggly snake kind of whatever. They don't even know what their logo is. We looked on their, we had to go on their website to get them, and they're not even sure if it's a snake or a river or something like that. But it's a weird W kind of logo. So we got those. We're putting them on the seat. So yeah, we got that laid on there, and our goal is to give that kind of the rustic kind of tan rough paint job like so. Look at that, there we go. So yeah, we are gonna take this trip together and figure this out. I have a couple ideas on how to get there. We're gonna do a couple test sprays. We are gonna try with a lacquer paint because it would be the easiest to kind of get that pattern. We'll show you how we're gonna try to pull that off. If that doesn't work, then we'll have to resand, repaint, and reattack it again and try with acrylic. So anyhow, I'm gonna get set up. We're gonna take it over to the paint booth and we'll try a couple tricks there. We'll see you guys in a few seconds. Got one step real quick. We have some NATO Brown XF68. Now this matches the TS62, but this is the acrylic counterpart. I did, as we just discussed, cut that King Ranch logo into the seat, the unknown logo, and we're gonna actually just brush paint it in with this. I could mask off the entire seat and quickly spray it with this, but I'm hoping that with using the acrylic and the technique we're gonna use to kind of blotch this on, this won't pull that off because it's acrylic, so fingers crossed. Let's go, fire that up. Before I'm gonna press that down, make sure that is seated around, keep it flat, and paint across. Go whoop, whoop, whoop. It actually helps if you make the sounds. Whoop, whoop. Look at that. Look at that spread. Jesse? And there you go. We got the unknown logo. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. So yeah, I got one more seat to do. We'll put that in the middle. We could have put it on the headrest, but the headrest in the Bronco is going to sit pretty high. This is going to sit kind of, when you're looking in the window, you'll be able to see the logo. It's going to look pretty cool. But once we are done kind of tanning over the whole seat and kind of getting that splotchy kind of rough rawhide look, it's gonna look fantastic. So that needs a few more minutes to dry up, and then we're gonna go hit that real quick. Okay guys, we have that logo on the seat. I'm lying, I still haven't gone to the other room, but we'll get there in a second. So we're gonna try the first step. We're gonna try some marbling. Well, hopefully the first attempt, yeah, and get it right the first time. We're gonna try some marbling. Now, this is a technique I'm sure some of the polycarbonate guys know with the good old piece of saran wrap. You spray it on your body one color, you saran wrap, dab it until it's kind of pulled up everywhere you want it, and then you put it with another color and it gives you a marbled effect. So we are gonna try that. So what you need is just a nice chunk of saran wrap. I like to make a small handle one side and then push it down and make like a mushroom. So you got something to hold with your finger, because it is going to get sticky. It's going to try to get away from you, and you don't want it getting on your hands. So make a little mushroom. So there we go. Now, the only thing I'm arguing with myself with is if I'm going to apply the paint directly to the seats, or if I'm gonna actually pool it onto like a lid or a paint cap or something beside, dab on there, and then bring onto the seat. Yeah, that is something we will need to figure out. As that dries, I'll give me a couple more minutes to figure out what I'm going to do, and we're going to take the GoPro into the booth, and we're going to do that live, and we're going to see if it is a win or fail, and we'll post it either way, and we'll take the trip. So, let's go. Okay guys, I have decided we're going to go with the light coat technique. My little mushroom. I'm going to put a little bit on my mushroom, I'm going to put a little bit on there, and we're going to dab the two together. Let's get this guy fixed up. Let's hope it all works out. This is our trusty crusty little paint booth. Big blower fan top and back, goes right outside. Works out great. Are you scared? Yes. Okay, good. Far too much there. The needle brown dries really quickly, but I think we're getting where we want to be. Yep. It's pretty damn good. Let's give them a minute off gas and we'll go check it out. Okay guys, I think that looks pretty leathery, fantastic, kind of comfy. A lot better than what we started with, your typical prosthesis hearing aid brown. Nothing wrong with hearing aids, just that's the color it kind of turns out to be, the light sand or whatever color they go for. So obviously night and day difference. It's going to look really good. Back of the seat we're going to leave in the just the natal brown. It's kind of like a chocolate brown, looks real nice. I am going to paint that trim all the way around the brush. I should have did that earlier, but I can do that before we put it together. The headrest, we're undecided if we're going to do the other kind of King Ranch logo. It's kind of like circle with the two little wings on it and some King Ranch with the middle. We might just draw that on there with a set of markers or something like that. It might be easier. We'll figure that out. That's why we haven't done them yet, but it's kind of where we are with that right now. So we ended up doing what we showed you, and then I just hit that really quickly with a TS79 semi-gloss clear from Tamiya. TS79 semi-gloss clear, and which gives it kind of a nice warm feeling to it. It's not crazy bright, but or crazy shiny or whatnot, but it looks really good. So ties it all together. Very happy with it. The Ranch logo is in there, kind of faded. It's gonna look good. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly paint around the back, do the headrest, slap these chairs together. We'll catch you guys back here in a few seconds when we get ready to put this all together and then throw it in the truck. Okay guys, seats are all together, looking fantastic. We did a little chrome detail on the headrests. We got the effect we were looking for, as we just showed you, the sponging and a couple layers back and forth, a little bit of dusting here and there. Just play with it, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks kind of like the rawhide leather look that we're going for. So yeah. Anyhow, I took a little bit of time the other night. I wasn't fully happy with this top piece of the dash. I missed painting that when I did the rest of it, and it looked out of place in the tan color, and it just looks so much better now being complete like that. So I decided to brush paint that in, and the beauty about using Tamiya products is you can pretty much every color found the counterpart that is almost a perfect match in acrylic. So we used a XF68 natal brown from Tamiya in acrylic paint to do that top trim, and that went very well with the natal brown. So okay, so I also used some of the Molotov chrome. Am I saying that right? Yep, Molotov chrome. You can pick these pens up on Eliminator RC's website, Amazon, various places like that. We also recommend, don't buy the pen, it clogs up and it gets messy. Just buy the refill bottle. This guy's like $30, $40. It's got a little bearing in there, and mix it up. Make sure you shake it well. And then we just pour some into a little solo cup here, and then we just brush paint it on. It's essentially doing the same thing as the pen, but you can load up the brush and actually do a nice amount without getting it kind of all like goopy and stringy stuff. It dries really quick, so if you like do one area and you kind of go back into there, you'll start to pull like a top skin across, and then it just looks like crap. So we recommend load it up, get it on a brush, load the brush heavy, run what you got to do, just pour it on there. It's great stuff. Obviously don't go too heavy. We did all the detail on there, and I think it looks fantastic. Okay, so where we are at right now is working on the gauge cluster piece here. It comes with these nice little cards to stick in there. They're very high quality, very high detail, very thick, nice little piece, not a crappy little sticker. This kit from GRC is very nice. Everybody that has seen it is very impressed. I'm very impressed. Jesse's very happy with it. Jesse's always happy, so that's good. So we've done silver around the dash cards. Normally I would have liked to do black, but keeping it authentic to the year, these were silver in the Fords back then. So what we're going to do right now is back everywhere in the back with black, except we're going to leave it open in the middle. So down the road we can maybe come and throw a couple lights in there and light up the back of these gauges. I think that'll look actually really cool. First of all, we have to get it together and see if there's room to do that. I don't know if that's an option. We're just learning as we go with that. So we're going to paint this black. We're going to leave a little section in the middle just in case, and we'll put that back together. And I think that's pretty much about it. We got the steering wheel, steering column, nice little shifter piece. We're going to paint these black, obviously. The steering wheel, I believe it's going to have a chrome strip across the middle. I got to look at some pictures, but we might just do a gloss around the outside with a brush so it looks like it's worn and your hands are oily, hands are on it so it's shiny. And we'll leave the middle in the matte with the chrome strip. I think that's about it. Now, I believe I said it earlier in the video, I'm going to say it again. If you have the Pro Scale Light Kit, do not buy this, it won't fit. Or you'll just have to make some modifications by cutting out this part of the floorboard, because you'll need your box to sit in there probably a little bit more. You know, it's not going to look horrible, but it is designed to have the power distribution block mounted right here. So this kit existed before the Pro Scale Kit, obviously. We've had it before the Pro Scale Kit, so there might be a new one. Check with GRC Hobby on that, but anyhow, let's get this guy painted so we can get in the truck. Tonight's weapon of choice is a Tamiya modeling brush, item 87017. One of my favorite brushes out there from them. Tamiya has all different types and shapes and tips. These 87017s are my favorite. We even have these ones shaped out a little bit so it fits in your hand nicely. It's something I recommend you guys kind of learn and get into doing, how to hold your brush and cut a little groove in a flat side. That helps a lot for giving you control so it's not just whoop, rolling around. Write that down somewhere. Okay guys, we got that all painted down. So we have these really sweet little dash cards from them, and we're going to use a knife to pick and press. I like to get underneath it, stick it down to the blade, lift it up and off there. You can see it, or you're not going to be able to see it, but I can. These are nice translucent, like these are going to light up really nicely when we get some light in there. So best way to go, these in from the bottom right to the top edge and then down. Just press it down in place. Nice. The element on the left has a very dimly marked out shadow where the indicator for your left turn signal would be and stuff. Very, very high detail. It has a fuel and RPM warning light. There you go. Looking good.
Very nice.
We need to do a little like the blue and the red kind of thing on the fan switches and such, but we'll get into that after.
Yeah, they're all black and chrome.
Oh, cool. Such a cool piece. Okay, so now we got that done. This dash comes with a really nice piece of pre-cut Lexan that's going to be the gauge cluster glass cover. It does have a piece of clear plastic on it, so make sure we pull that off or else your gauges will look milky. So it's only one-sided, so it has a notch in the one side. The cluster has a notch in one side, so it fits like so. It only fits one direction, so make sure you got it flipped the right way. Really cool little piece. So once we get that lit up down the road, I gotta look at some options, some low voltage LEDs and stuff like that. I think I might be able to plumb it into the light kit that's already in the Bronco, but again, second thought, drop that glass in first. It's a really nice fit. These guys do a very nice job here. Okay, so that's in. Ooh, look at that. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put this down on a napkin so we don't scratch it. I'm going home. Ooh, that's something I want to talk about, this glove box. When you put that glove box in, it shows you here to put in and snap down. Now that takes some serious prying, and do one side at a time. Don't try to do both, you might break it, but put it in as they're showing. I took a, I used a thicker Tamiya wooden paintbrush, 87013, they don't pay us, but we love them, to stick it in there and actually give it some leverage to pry one side, and it was like snap, and the other side was like that Hatchet kid says, smash. We got her in there though. So yeah, just watch for that. It is a tight fit, but it works too, which is really cool. You can put your gloves in there and stuff. Okay guys, so it is M2 by 6mm, these little 1.5mm headed drive screws. There's actually 4 of them used in the next step. You're going to be 2 of them for the gauge cluster, and 2 of them are going to hold on the lower piece of the steering column. There was a plan change. Apparently I was wrong, and the steering column should have been black to be authentic, so Jesse just quickly yeeted the brown paint job I did and changed it to black. So once again, you're not torquing down the transmission on a 455 Pontiac HD. We want to just tighten those up snuggle-buggle. Now, when I did the chrome in there, I kind of, I used a chrome silver X11 around the gauge cluster, and then I used one of these crappy brushes from Amazon. You can get 500 of these brushes for 20 bucks off Amazon, and they're kind of soft, kind of hard, so they're kind of nice for when you want to, like a grained pattern. So we did a nice brush stroke out on the silver, and now with that cover on there and stuff, I don't know if you can see those top pieces, it looks fantastic. That's multiple. Cool. So we have a little bit of detail work. I'm going to add a little red, a little bit of blue for the vent selector, and a couple little numeric numbers on there with a very, very, very tiny brush. And as we wait for the steering wheel color change black to happen, and we'll back here in a couple seconds when that's done, and we'll show you that update, and we'll get this thing together, get it mounted in the truck, and move on to some micro stuff, because it is about to get real cold up here. Real damn cold. Okay guys, while we wait for the steering column and wheel to dry, we can actually go through and install the mounting plates onto the bottom of these sweet, sweet, sweet King Ranch leather, faux leather seats, or whatever you want to call them. Rawhide. Is that what it is? Sure. Rawhide. Matt's getting nice and beat up. Okay, so you got 2 of these plates. They're both the same as each other, but they mount separately and differently on each one of the chairs. It does seem a little confusing. So, driver's side chair, we're going to want to use this hole, and this hole. Yeah, the one I'm on here. So 1, 2, 3. So plate is going to want to mount routed side to the front, like so. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So simple, simple, simple. So 1, 2, 3 over there. That's going to offset the chair in towards the middle a little bit, let it fit the body a little better. So we need these little tapered M3 by 6 screws, and where's my drill? So driver's side chair, we want to hit that top corner. So the track is open from the front and locked in the back, so these guys will drop in from the front and slide all the way to the back. You're going to want to put this in before the dash, just because it has to come pretty close to the steering wheel and stuff when you do the driver's side. So start with doing the seats and then the dash. It's not really in the instructions, it tells you to do it vice versa. We just found that's safer to do it with the test fitting we were doing. So this guy here will be round side to the front. This is actually marked with an F to the front, so you don't have to paint these pieces either. They're completely buried underneath. You want to do the opposite, this side, there, and there. So yeah, check these guys out. GRC RC. I believe this one is G161R. The only part number it has, really. You'll find it on Amazon or eBay, tagged underneath the TRX4 interior section. Most local hobby shops don't carry stuff like this, so this is one of the things you will have to go onto the dark web to find. Okay, those are mounted up. We got them all the way in the back position. So this is your center battery tray cover, to tell you the truth. Pretty cool piece. This guy actually drops down between the chairs and then slides back and locks in. Click, click, like that. And your new center console that actually opens and closes. Pretty cool. Sit up in here. So let's pop that back off, and it does fit in into it in the front corner, so you don't want to just mash it in. You want to line that up and just kind of work it down nicely. I know you guys are used to it just smashing things together, but sometimes you gotta be nice. It's made in China, we want to go easy on it, so. So this guy will click and drop in. We're gonna leave this guy out until after, but you can see the contrast coming out. I'm really happy with the way those seats turned out now that we're starting to put the contrast of all the colors together, so very stoked on that. Could probably put the steering column in after we mount the dash, so let's continue on here. Now this guy actually drops down into the lower piece and clicks in. And if you look at this little piece right here, this is a clip for a 30 by 30 millimeter fan, or you've got 4 screw holes, you can actually screw it down. This sits right on top of your stock 550 can Traxxas motor, and you can use this in a pull the heat up off the motor. Just fantastic. Forward thinking from a company. They're not just putting interior into it, they're putting places to put your power distribution blocks. Actually, that's underneath the seat. I'll have to open that up again later, but just doing things right, you know. Like the way everything clips in, you don't need to even add the 4 bolts that they're using to hold the dash in. So it's 4 M3x6. Run these guys in back here. Now this little guy is a retainer clip for the hinge on the glove box, and he actually just slides like this underneath there, and when the back half of the dash is on, that keeps you're not going to pop it out. It's so hard to get in, but they're doing due diligence to make sure that sticks together, so that's pretty cool. Only thing I had a question about is this hole in the dash right there. I should have probably filled it, but I kind of thought it might have been for something, but it's not. It's just, and it looks ugly right in the middle of the windshield. You can't see these ones, but that one stands right out, so. Yeah, looking pretty good. I need to get that steering wheel dried up and thrown in there, and I think this guy is ready to drop in the truck. There's one more article right here, your gas and brake pedal. We're going to paint them, a little bit of chrome on them. I don't know, might do a little bit of detail on them. And this guy just drops onto this peg right there. And uses another M3x6 to screw that down. You're going to want to get that in for the top of the dash. So I'm going to quickly paint that, drop it in, go grab the steering column. We'll put that last piece in a counter for you, and then we'll get this guy into a body, and we're done. Okay guys, we are ready. I got the steering column kind of mocked up sitting here. Bloop, bloop. I need to put a screw into this mount. Now it does come with the option where we can stick a micro servo right here in the dash. We've got one here, kind of just, I don't know if there's a big rod on it, but we could throw one in here and actually have it hook up to the steering column with a small piece of wire. We could just, well, bend out of that and make the steering wheel move with the servo. Now we're just going to get this in the truck for now, and then we're going to come back and make some changes. We do want to light up the dash card. We are going to add power to the servo, but we do want to add a BEC to the truck. It is running a lot of options in it. We do have that power distribution block we could plumb into or something, but we'll figure that out. All right, make the first one. Okay, so that little steering column McDoodab. So M3x12 screw, inner booty hole. We out, Jess.
We out.
We out. So you don't want to back that up, and make sure that it doesn't have to be as tight as we just put it. You want to make sure if you do put a servo in there, it can actually turn nicely. So now you should put the steering wheel in before the dash, but remember we were waiting it to dry, so we just kind of did this. So you want to set your depth. The nice thing is the tube is smooth. So when you do click this plate on, you can actually set it to different heights, so to suit, you know, a scaled driver or whatnot. It has the shift indicator on the top side of the column. You want to make sure you get that parallel to the mounting plate so when it fits in, it's not cattywampus off to the side. Look like Uncle Jim put the truck back together after 6-pack.
But he did.
Usually. I'm going to put the screws in it, and I'm hoping the angle changes. It looks a little bit off-putting. Let's see if we crank these screws down, it pulls an angle of that steering column a little bit. That might be something that we have to change because I don't like it. There you go. You see that in there? Looking good. Seats are a little bit tall compared to the dash ratio. This little bottom part of the dash, he just simply clicks in, no screws required. A little bit of finessing, drops right in. Minty gear shifter. Now this was just all black for the 4-wheel shifter on them, and forward would be your road gear position. But we're going off-road, so we're going to put that in facing backwards. So a little bit of CA glue on the bottom and drop that in there. Dang nabbit, it has to go in facing forward because of the way the tangs are on the bottom and they're just not cool like we are and want everything to be in party mode 4-wheel drive. I do like the click. This kit even comes with a rear view mirror. You put a little bit of double-sided tape on it and stick it up so you have that sticking right there. We're gonna paint that chrome, get that in there looking mint. Okay, this guy fell out when I was jostling around. If you guys caught that, that guy goes back in. Make sure you haven't dropped yours. Throw it in. And then the rear or dash cap. This guy is 2 by 8, 2.5 by 8, 2.5 by 8. Done. No more parts left, right? That's it. Great success, my friend. Okay, let's talk about the chassis really quick and a couple changes you're gonna have to make. Okay, so if you're fancy boys like Jesse and I, and you got the rock lights and all that other stuff, and you have the Traxxas power distribution block, you will need to remove it from the chassis. Find yourself your own supply 3 by 12, so M3 by 12 millimeter screws, and then screw this guy up to the bottom of the floor pan right here, and unfortunately you're gonna have to pop that seat off and plug the wire in every time for your body, so boo earns. But hey, whatever, we're gonna build it to the kit and we'll go from there. I'm gonna turn this around so I can see what I'm doing a little better. You're also gonna need to remove the screws for your rock sliders. They are gonna stay in place, but there is holes in the floor pan to bolt down after and lock them in place. So let's get this guy mounted in a non-greasy way. It only fits in one direction. Ugh. The clip for the wire is back there. You take the wire out of the clip so you can get it to sit through pretty flush. You also need to route your motor wires a little bit differently. See how the red wire tucks behind here and runs this side of the motor, and the black wire runs down here underneath the motor. You need to separate them because this guy wraps tight to the motor. You want this all clear and free in there. So, best way to do this. Oh, also your antenna. See, we got the antenna mounted there. You want to move it to the back, lay it down. It'll fit into that wire retainer clip and lay it like that. So that's all in the manual. Just wanted to show you. Do yourself a favor and line your sliders up before you put everything in. Just makes it easier for lining up these holes after. So these clips right here fit into the back of the frame where it just before it's where it's wider before it tapers down. So kind of stand this guy up back here, walk him off. It's a mess. Stand him up, kind of walk him back. Battery wire needs to be fed nicely. There's a little spot right in the front for him. Oh wait, there's a spot in the front on the passenger side for your battery wire to run. Okay, and those are your N3x14s. Drop those in there. And it does make it easier to put the center console on, having that seat off, and I guess. Okay, so the fit is very nice. The one thing, like I said, I didn't like was that square hole in the dash, but the way it fits this body is immaculate. It is a tight fit all the way around, no big gaps, no cracks. It is a beautiful fit for like a third-party company making a part for another hobby company, or another, you know, Traxxas, right? So GRC making parts for Traxxas, you know what I mean. Fit and finish is beautiful. The chairs sit way too high. They don't go back far enough. Jesse and I got some work to do. We're gonna make those seats go back. We're gonna angle that steering column just a little bit, and we're gonna put some lights in there. We're gonna open up the windows on the side, both sides. We got some more work coming up, so that was just kind of the baseline installation with the paint. I think it looks good. Obviously can't see much of the body on in there, but yeah, I think it's looking real nice. Definitely a nice piece. Why is those chairs leaning? Yeah, anyway, we got some work to do. We're gonna bring these chairs, angle them in, get them sitting right, drop them down, such like that. Looks pretty cool. Now with running this interior, I am not 100% sure, like when I put a 5,000 milliamp battery in there, where my battery connections would work. We might cut and extend the leads and do all that magic back here where the exterior or interior is wide open. We could have our battery lead and our lead for our ESC running up the back. So we'll probably extend those back here. That will make everything a little bit easier to fit in the front. I might actually move the ESC on this truck so we can lower these seats down. I wouldn't mind just chopping that little block off. There you can see it right here.
Our distribution block back there.
Yeah, to move everything back and then drop everything down. It's a very cool piece, ProNoob approved. Go check it out, GRC. But we're going to take it to the next level and get it on Jesse and I level here. It's cool, check it out, but stay tuned, it's going to get better. We'll see you guys in the next one.